Hi, this is Clara. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the new Caruso School of Law, or CSOL, online teaching site that we've curated for you here in Courses. The purpose of this course site is to guide faculty members through pedagogy tools to benefit their teaching style. In this video, I'm going to go over how to navigate this online teaching site, and this video will also be helpful in learning how to navigate your own course site for your personal classes as well, since I will also be highlighting some useful tools found in Courses. So to begin, as you see, I have already logged into Courses. There should be a new tab added on your top toolbar called CSOL Online Teaching up here. If that doesn't show up, just go over to Sites in the top right corner, click on that, and under Projects, make sure that CSOL Online Teaching is starred. Once it is starred, it will should show up in the top tab. So once I have clicked on that and I am in this online teaching site, I am automatically directed to the overview page, which provides me with a summary of what I will find on this site. And then to the left of the screen, we see all of the navigation buttons. And since I am already on the overview screen, that button is listed in blue. So below overview is the Start Here button. So I'll click on that. And on this page, I am taken to a page that describes all of the learning outcomes for this site. Anything listed as LO stands for learning outcome. Note that there is a complete course alignment sheet at the end of the page for your reference, and I'll go into that in a minute. All of the rest of these categories right here are just different learning outcomes that will eventually all be linked to different pages on our Law Tech website. As you can see, some of them already are. So for example, we have under this Teaching Students How to Learn, it will be linked to a metacognition site. So if I click on this, I'll be directed to the Law Tech page that talks about teaching students how to learn. So navigating back to Courses, I will go down to the bottom of the page and click on this Course Alignment Learning Map. When I click on the link, I'm directed to the Excel sheet. And here we have outlined what course design looks like. So the goal of this particular spreadsheet is to help you identify assessments for your students to reflect effectiveness of the learning activity, as well as the material you provided them to learn. So as you can see, the spreadsheet builds from learning objectives over here on the left column to topics within those specific learning objectives, to the material. So we'll link different materials that you can use to interact with that specific topic, to possible activities, and then finally to assessments. As you can see, this page is not finished, but it will continue to be built out. So the assessments column here on the far right is very important, as it provides examples of how you can measure the effectiveness of the listed learning activity, as well as your teaching material on the topic that you cover. It is more granular than what you might be used to for a regular course learning outcome assessment, as it is more personal to your teaching style. Note that there are 3 areas of identifiable learning that the students can engage in, which are behavioral, affective, and cognitive. And these 3 areas of learning attitudes, which target the students' tendencies, preferences, and retention of information, follow the Bloom's taxonomy model, which is another important assessment tool, which is kind of outlined in this metacognition page that we were already on earlier. So if you are trying to figure out new ways to measure the effectiveness of the material that you've given to your students, I would recommend that you visit this metacognition site. If you need guidance on this on the assessment stage, we are happy to provide that information and meet with you individually, so please feel free to reach out. Under the Resources tab, there will be different teaching resources listed for you to access. This is where you can view the documents and files made available to you for teaching purposes. And specifically to this course site, this page is where you may find Dean Goodno's curation of law pedagogy articles, which are all very useful and important resources to view. Note that on your own course site for students, this is the platform for you to upload your own documents for your class to view. The difference between the Resources tool and the Dropbox tool is that Dropbox is a two-way street, meaning that this is where your students can upload their own files and assignments into the Dropbox, while Resources is solely a place for you as a faculty member to distribute pertinent files. For more information on the Resources tool and formatting your own courses site for your class, please visit the blog posts and instructional videos on the Caruso School of Law Law Tech website. So next we'll go into announcements. And right now, as you can see, there are no announcements, but if there is a revision or update to this course site or the content within the site, you will receive a message under this tab. And that message will also be listed on the home page. In your own course site, this is where you can post a course announcement to the entire class or to specific sections within the class. Note that you can set your messages to show immediately or to show during specific dates, as well as whether or not you would like email notifications to accompany the announcements. So it's very customizable. But again, more detailed information on these tools for class use is outlined on the LawTech website. So moving on to forums. The forums tool allows instructors or site leaders to create an unlimited number of discussions. And it's integrated closely with other tools like the resources and gradebook tools. So currently, there we go. Currently, there are 4 topics listed. While the forum as a whole is a category or grouping for each of these topics, the topics are created within the forums, are where participants can post conversations. And the conversation itself is a thread of messages inside each of these topics where participants can post their contributions. A conversation can be created by instructors or students inside of a topic. So if I want to respond to a topic or start a new conversation, I will simply click on the topic. So I'll just click on this online versus on-ground courses. And then up here on the top toolbar, I can click start a new conversation. And from here, I can add the title of the conversation, and then I can type or paste in my messages and then post it. Note that you can also add attachments to your conversation thread as well. And moving on to messages. So for the messages tool on your end, you will see these 4 folders of messages that you have personally received or sent. And this tool is a convenient way for you to send and receive private messages to other members enrolled in the course site or to you. And this is kind of like email, but you can only message Hong or other faculty participants in the course, not an external email address. The same thing applies for your own personal site, where you may compose a group message to your students or send a private message to a specific student and send a notification to their Pepperdine email. So now we will go to Zoom Pro. There will most likely not be much use of this tool for this particular CSOL online teaching site, but in general, for your personal class use, the Zoom Pro tool is where you want to schedule the Zoom meetings for your personal classes. Note that up here, if you click these 3 dots that represent more options, you see that you have the option to import already scheduled meetings that you may have created the other way through your pepperdine.zoom web service. However, we highly recommend that You schedule your meetings directly in this Zoom Pro tool so that you can keep track of your class meetings because it will group it according to your course's site, as well as have the meeting recordings saved automatically in this Cloud Recordings tab right here, if you would like to take advantage of that setting. Again, if you would like more information on Zoom and how to utilize this specific Zoom Pro tool in your course's site, as well as any other features we introduce here, there are a lot of instructional articles that go in depth and take you step by step through the processes on our Law Tech website. Now we will move on to the roster tool. The roster tool, as you can see, displays the number of site participants along with their names, photos, and profiles. Right now, here are all of the law school faculty and the photos that are linked to their Pepperdine accounts. As a note, students are not added or removed on this screen. You would have to visit the Site Info tool, which we will discuss later in this video. And so now we'll move to the Statistics tool. So this tool allows the instructor or site host to view the usage and activity statistics for the course's site. So in this initial statistics page, the site host can view a summary of the amount of visits to a particular page or tab and who has visited each tab. You can also see which tabs and files are most frequently visited. So next is the Site Info tool, which is not necessarily important on the participant side, but is really useful on the course administrator's side. So for this course site, you don't really need to mind this tab unless you would like to see some basic information about the site, which are listed here. However, as a site owner of your own course, you can see that the Site Info tool is where you would go to edit your site information, manage and order your tools, add or delete participants, and many other settings to personalize the site to your liking. One final note to touch upon is the Access View option. By clicking the Enter Access View button on the top right, you are able to see your course's site from a participant's perspective. This is a useful tip for when you are constructing your course's site, as it allows you to preview the site from the student's perspective and make any adjustments you think are necessary. And then to return back to your faculty view and administrator's access, click Exit View in the same spot as before, and you should notice your page reverting back to the original editable layout. So this concludes our guide on navigating this CSOL online teaching site. Again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to Hong personally, whether that be through her email at hong.ka@pepperdine.edu or at her phone extension at 7209. Thank you for your attention.